What's up, babies? It's your girl BG back with another you know what the hell I'm doing. Right now I'm just showing you guys how I poke a hole and I use that as my homemade spray bottle. I don't use the water method anymore. I used to when I first started plucking hair. But I'm just applying it just to show you guys that it is possible. You know, it does help a lot still. But now, just to get it over with, I don't use water no more. Okay, with plucking, I make sure I separate the baby hairs. Like the thinnest hairs, I leave it out front because, you know, you don't want to pluck that out. Those are like the best. Those are the thin hairs that you would like to use as your baby hairs and stuff like that. So I go ahead and I just leave that out in the front. And I just start plucking all together with the hair itself. Make sure when you're plucking the hair that you're using the tweezers in this direction. Use a slanted part. When plucking, the rat tail comb is your best friend. It separates all the hairs. You know, you can get nothing in your way. When I pluck, I go straight back. Sometimes I do go diagonally just because I want to be able to get the hair separately, like in different angles and stuff like that. Don't ever stay too long in one area because you will bald your freaking frontal. That's the worst thing to do. Make sure that when you're plucking, you have to clamp onto the hair in order for it to come out. If you're paying close attention, you can see that I'm not staying in one area. I'm slowly just going up and going in a different area. And I'm trying to go straight back because I just want it to look even all around. So I'm doing the same motion throughout whatever part of the hair I'm in. Something that I did notice out of my mistakes of, you know, over bleaching my knots sometimes is that it all depends on how long you keep your knots bleached. If you go over time, the roots will be very weak and it will also be very easy for you to pluck, which is not a good thing because you will be at greater risk of balding your frontal. These knots were actually pretty stubborn for me to bleach. It was hard for me to pluck it, which isn't bad, but it's just hard on my part. When you use the rat tail comb, you have to make sure that you're actually trying your hardest to just keep it flat down, because then with the mannequin head being white, it'll show that how much more you may have to plug. If it's still very dense in the beginning of the frontal, it just makes it easier for you to see. Right here, I'm showing you guys the difference between the side I was plucking versus the side that has not been touched yet. This side, I have not touched it yet. This side, on the other hand, it has been touched. I have plucked it a little bit. It doesn't show too much of a big difference because I do have to go back and pluck it some more. This closure wig is very dense. Like, it's very thick. Like, although it looked like it was pre-plucked, baby, I had to go back and I had to pluck the hell out of this wig, and it was still very thick, which is a good thing though. The reason why I think it's a good thing on my end is because there's no lace in the world that just does not shed at all. It's going to shed regardless. So the more hair that you have on the frontal or the closure, the better it'll be, because, you know, it's already thick. So over time, when those hairs start falling out, it ain't gonna be too much of a big difference because I already got a lot of hair. It's already thick. Understand? Understand. I forgot to mention that I do always go back and I do add the baby hairs with the hairs that I'm plucking because I want to be able to have a natural hairline. Although the baby hair was separated because I don't want to pluck too much of it, I added it back so I could pluck the entire head as a whole because you just need to. With plucking, you can't rush it. I'm not gonna pretend and sit here like I pluck faster. No, child. You gotta take your time with this. I'm trying to show you guys the difference between the both sides, but you'll actually see the drastic difference after I actually take my time and I pluck it all together.
346 minutes later.
And there we have it. I ain't gonna lie, I plucked a lot. Here's the side by side. The left side is the side that I did pluck. The right side is the side before plucking. The whole goal with plucking is just to make it look natural. It has to gradually get thicker. It just don't, the hairline don't just start like a bold start, if that makes sense. Enough about plucking. This wig is from AliPearl. It's a 6x6 closure wig, and it's also an HD lace. This hair was really nice and soft. In all honesty, the only reason why it doesn't look real silky and straight is because of the type of iron I had at that time. I got a better flat iron. Make sure that when you do have straight hair, the best results is when it's all about the flat iron, babe. Don't be out here trying to flat iron your straight hair or your body wave hair with these $20 flat irons. It ain't gonna work and it ain't gonna look raw. I've never been a big fan of closure wigs. I've never been a big fan of anything that ain't a frontal, but this was probably my first time that I actually enjoyed installing it. This closure wig was wide enough to where it did look like a frontal. Although it's just a 6x6, it was still very comfortable on her head. And just look how that hair flow, baby. That's no heat protecting spray, and that's a badass flat iron too. You mean to tell me without a good flat iron the hair still look like this? Come on now. Look how it flows. Look how it sways. It's very thick. The density is 200%. This hair is 24 inches, but I don't know why, but it looks so long. Like at some point I almost thought it was like about 26, 28, but it is 24 inches. The hair is very thick. It was very easy for me to install too. And the HD lace just made it so much more easier for it to blend in with the skin. I feel so bad that I didn't have the right flat iron, but I could just tell that if I did, this hair, the way that it would have been flipping and flopping and slapping faces would have been so raw. This hair is very nice. It has its own natural shine and it's very beautiful. If you're interested in this hair, please check the description down below for the direct link, as well as AliPearl's website. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. If there's anything that I missed that you guys may have a question on, please comment it down below. I will come to you directly myself. BG out.